Greetings, everyone. Today is June 16. Happy June 16 to all young people. I know that those of my age are wearing uniforms. On this day in 1976, I was in the village. I had wanted to go to grade 1 in 1976 in January. Um, we stood in a queue in the assembly. We were in an assembly in a queue in January 1976. So we asked to touch our left ear using our right hand. That's how they were measuring if one is grown up to go to grade 1. It was called sub A, but grade 1. I couldn't touch my left ear using my right hand. I failed the test, so they said no, go back to preschool. So in 1976, I was in the village in preschool. So happy June 16 to everyone. But we are not talking about June 16 here. Because this is a long weekend. Zimbabweans and others are going to their homes. South Africans going to Eastern Cape, those that are in Gauteng, Eastern Cape, KZN. Zimbabweans going to Zimbabwe. There are challenges at the border. Late last night, at about midnight, I received a call from a comrade who was at Bedbridge border post. This comrade is a holder of the Zimbabwe exemption permit. He has applied for a waiver. I know that because I assisted the comrade to apply for a waiver. He has applied for a waiver, but unbeknown to him and to all of us, he did not carry his proof of application to the border. So he just jumped into his vehicle, drove to the border on his way to Bulawayo. At the border, the officials at the border insisted that they could not stamp his passport until they scan his receipt as proof that he has applied for a waiver. So the comrade called me around midnight to say, I have challenges at the border. They are refusing to stamp my passport. They want a waiver. Were to immediately contact the director of border controls. The director referred us to another director. Fortunate enough, they were very cooperative. The directors that were referred to, they were very cooperative. First, the director for border controls, who at that time of the night gave us a phone number for a director that we needed to speak to resolve this issue. And indeed, we phoned the director. She responded to our call and was very much willing to assist, but there seems to be a disconnection between the head office at Home Affairs and the officials at the border post in Bedbridge, because the director that we spoke to said it is not a requirement that a person should go around carrying a receipt, particularly at the border. There is no such that a receipt should be scanned. The director then asked to speak to the supervisor at the Bedbridge border post, because my comrade was phoning the director. I gave him the number. So the director says, let me speak to the supervisor and explain. The supervisors were refusing to take the call. Said, no, would not speak to the director. They refused. And then the director said, okay, if they are refusing, can you just take their names? And they sent me their names. They were hiding their own identity, because an immigration official at the border, they have a sticker that bears their name. They were hiding their names. They didn't want to be identified that this is what they are doing. They were refusing until the comrade was assisted by bus drivers who assisted him to get his passport stamped. This is very unfortunate. It is very unfortunate. We know that the people would not be traveling carrying their proof of waiver application. So you might be also traveling, you might be facing these problems, or you are preparing to travel across the border if you are a holder of Zimbabwe exemption permit. Because at this stage, there's this disconnection between the head office and the officials at the border post. So the advice, while this has been resolved, is that carry your proof of application that you have applied for a waiver. But it also raises serious questions, because the reason why the deadline was extended to the 31st of December is that other people are still sorting out their documents. They've not applied. VFS is not providing slots, right, for people to apply. So we knew, and the government knew, the minister in particular knew, that 30th June 2023 was not going to be met as the final deadline. Hence, he had to extend. So if then the officials at the border post insist that every ZEP holder who is traveling should produce proof of application, that is very wrong. That is very wrong. So we hope that this is going to be resolved, so that when people are traveling, whether they are traveling to sort out their passports in Zimbabwe because their passports are expiring. We have been advising that if one's passport, say, expires in November or December 2023, it doesn't make sense, in our view, to apply for a waiver and a permit using a passport that is to expire in 3-4 months. Because once the permit is out, you have to start the process again of transferring the permit or visa to the new passport. So it is better that one gets a new passport. So we hope that the head office is going to communicate this to their supervisors at the port of entry, so that this thing of insisting on a proof of applying for a waiver is not a requirement. Please, if you are traveling, share with us your experiences at the border, what is happening at the border. Please like this video, subscribe to this YouTube channel. Otherwise, enjoy your weekend.